Hello and welcome back to the channel. Looks so different when I've shaved. Baby face. I went vegan a long time ago in my early 20s. It was a whirlwind of emotion. If you want to hear the origin story, I've got a video that you can get here. I'll also put a link to it in the description box below. I'm a lot older now and maybe wiser. Probably not that much wiser. And I was thinking the other day, I was just sitting there and going, what would be 5 things I would tell my young vegan self? Maybe just to make my transition in my life as a vegan just that little bit easier. Anyway, let's get into it. Number 1, kale and quinoa will not be as big a part of your life as you think. So young Alistair, don't worry wasting your time pretending and trying to like them. The tiny little condom looking grain and the gross green leaf is not necessary for good health. Just eat the vegetables that you actually enjoy. Broccoli, If I could have told my younger self that, I would have saved so many gross meals and disgusting green smoothies. Number 2, just because someone is vegan doesn't mean they are a good person. I made the mistake early on thinking that just because somebody was vegan meant that they were an awesome person.
I partake not in the meat, nor the breast milk, nor the ovum of any creature with a face.
Short answer, being vegan just makes you better than most people.
Bingo.
I have had many relationships and friendships fail because of this assumption. Being vegan is amazing, it's incredible, but it still is just one part of a person's personality. In fact, some of the most disgusting behavior and horrible people I've ever met were actually vegan. If I could go back in time and tell my younger vegan self this, I would have been more critical of some people, sort of listened to my gut a little bit more, and potentially have saved myself a lot of heartache.
You once were a vegan, but now you will be gone.
Vegan.
Number 3, conversely, just because someone eats meat doesn't mean they are a bad person. This one took me a few years to come to terms with. I guess the old adage, don't hate the player, hate the game, comes to mind. Don't get me wrong, what happens to these animals is atrocious, it's absolutely disgusting. And we should fight every single day to help our friends and family make that connection, to open their eyes to the horrors. But again, I think I could have saved myself a lot of heartache and saved some incredible friendships if I wasn't so in their face about it. It is normal when you first go vegan and you see the atrocities that are happening to these animals. You want to stand up for these poor souls because nobody else is fighting for them. But we aren't just fighting an injustice, we are fighting a systemic issue and a learned behavior. As I said in a previous video, I never questioned my meat eating, not once in 23 years. It wasn't until I actually watched the documentaries that I went, oh my gosh, how have I never thought about this before? We are going against what is seen as normal in society, eating animals. We have to lead by example, and just being vegan highlights the obvious lunacy of this practice. And we help reiterate the fact that just because something is normal doesn't mean it's right. Number 4, stress less about the food you are eating. Relax, Alistair, and enjoy the food more. Gee, if I could go back and tell my young self that. Oh my gosh. Don't overthink and obsess on every micronutrient and macronutrient. Eat an abundance of different healthy foods and enjoy the not so healthy foods too. I feel like today I've struck a really nice 80-20 balance. And if I could tell my young self, make up the majority of your diet on good, healthy whole foods. But hey, don't worry, you can have a sneaky pizza or a beer or a Beyond Burger or 2. You know, just a sneaky one. Just sneak them in there. When I first went vegan, I was stressed all the time about the food I was eating. All the time. And it had me so stressed out that I am sure that the stress itself would have negated any positive benefits from the healthy food that I was eating. My advice to my younger self would be to stress less, know the basics of what you are eating. Eat a lot of the good stuff, but don't be afraid to just relax and enjoy a little treat too. Number 5, take your supplements. When I first went vegan, I was one of those, I don't need any supplements, that's not natural. Yeah, well, we live in an unnatural world. I recommend vegans take a B12 supplement, an omega-3 algae-based supplement, and also an iodine supplement if you're not consuming sea vegetables. I don't like sea vegetables. I don't like them. I don't eat sushi. If you don't live in a climate like I do, it's coming into summer now, you're gonna watch this pale complexion turn quite dark in the next couple of months as I get back out into the ocean a lot more. But definitely take a vitamin D supplement if you're in the colder climates. So does that mean a whole food plant-based diet isn't optimal? I mean, maybe, but I think optimal health is bullshit and you can get that video here. But I'd rather take a couple of drops of B12 under my tongue twice a week than having to get it from a dead body. And it doesn't seem like a fair trade to me, an animal's life for some B12. I've just thought of another one. Number 6, I would tell my younger self to smile more. It was tough learning about these atrocities and that feeling of helplessness. When I just sat there after Earthlings, just crying my eyes out, knowing there was just nothing I could do. I feel there are the 3 worst feelings in the world. and I'm definitely going to do a video on this. But those three feelings are guilt, shame, and helplessness. And I felt all three of those when I went vegan. There is a level of acceptance that we need to be able to get up in the morning and fight another day. We have to accept the reality. And if I could tell my younger self, I would say, accept the reality. Yeah, it sucks. Yes, it is rough. But crying and getting angry won't change anything either. So I would tell my younger self to focus on the positives. Smile a lot and make others laugh. I think I could have saved a few depressive years at the start of my vegan journey. There's a sense of calm and coolness in that. And as the old saying goes, cooler heads will prevail. And we will prevail. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, you might also like my video on nihilism and veganism. Anyway, my name's Alistair, this is Plant-Based Logic, and until next time, bye for now. Do I look 10 years younger with my beard shaved?